the alarm, rain in the summertime, the weekly groan. So far and in brief, I got a flat tyre which was soon fixed, but the spare was stuck. Dad's got the same vehicle and his spare was in a similar situation. Part 3, and it's now time to wrap this up. So we had the spare partially stuck on the underside of Dad's vehicle due to this stupid winch system that operates it. We could get it down so far, but not enough. Now, there was a bit of leeway here, so we propped the tyre up using pieces of timber. These were skew width as it's all we had available, but after some messing around, we managed to hold the tyre in place and then free the plastic bit that was actually securing the tyre in place, and we managed to get it down. Bear in mind, this is underneath the vehicle with a severe lack of space and a heavy tyre. I had a look at the winch mechanism to see how it was fitted, and then we set about winching the tyre back up again. Again, as the steel cable only came down so far, we had to prop the tyre up on wood, attach what little cable we had to work with, and we did manage to wind it back up in place. And the reason I was looking at the actual winch system was to compare it to mine, which was broken. So that was sorted in terms of Dad's vehicle, although it gives you zero confidence if you need to use any of this at the roadside. Now to my car, where that one's stuck with very little wiggle room and a broken bolt on the actual mechanism, so you couldn't operate that at all. I did try with some grips and other tools, but it wasn't happening. We had to cut the cable holding the tyre in place, no other option. So back under the vehicle, this time mine, where you've got basically no room to work with and a tyre that's stuck even higher up. Now, we used some wood and a traffic cone we had lying around as props for this one, and Dad held the tyre too, and I set about cutting the cable. It took about 5 minutes just for me to angle the hacksaw onto this because I couldn't see where I was cutting due to other stuff in the way. Once I got going, it was fine. It was chopped out quicker than I expected. I'd have enough by this point, so we removed the tyre and the mechanism. For what it was worth, I salvaged a few parts I could from that and then left it for several weeks actually. The last stage was getting a replacement mechanism, which you can only get second hand these days. I found one on eBay that said it was in stock, bought it, and then a day later I got an email saying the order was cancelled because they didn't have it in stock. Nice to know the listing was accurate then. There was another one which was more expensive but in better condition, so I got that. I also bought a kit where you drill out the rivets holding this thing together, get inside, replace the plastic cog that fails, and you replace that with a metal one and grease it all up. You then fix it together with nuts and bolts included in the kit, and that means you can easily service it in the future. I fitted the replacement mechanism to the vehicle, tested it, and the tyre wouldn't go all the way up. I then remembered, as part of this daft design, during the last bit of winching you have to guide the tyre into a very specific place, otherwise it will stay loose, obviously. But that was easy-ish to do once I knew what I was doing. The spare tyre system on my car has a good design in theory, but the cheap parts let it down, and wouldn't it be great instead of manually, awkwardly lowering and raising this thing, you pressed a button and it did it for you. End of part 3 of 3. After all that, will I ever need to use my spare again? Sod's Law says no, but at least now I'm more prepared than ever.